Good morning, YouTube. It's the Volpace back with another video. We I didn't make a video for yesterday, and that's because I thought I wouldn't bet, and then I ended up making a slip. I managed to organize a voucher later on in the day, and I played a 4 odds, but that really doesn't matter because if I win, then you guys also have to win with me, so it honestly doesn't count. So anyways, we have a 6-game slate to dive into today, if not 5. We have the Italy Serie A, the French League One, and yeah, we have a 5-game slate to dive into today. But before we dive into that slate, I just want to show you Wednesday's results, and then we'll dive in. On slate 1, we had a 2.08 odds, if I'm not mistaken, and we had Bayern to win with the 2 up, and they won comfortably 3-1. And then we had a draw first 10 minutes for the Napoli versus Parma game. They drew 0-0 at full time after a disallowed goal for Napoli earlier on in the game. The next one that we had was Arsenal to score over 0.5 goals, and they won the game 3-2. And then the last one, Real Madrid. These people cut a lot of people's sleeps on Wednesday. They really did. So yeah. And then the next sleep that we had, don't mind that tick on the Madrid game. That was a typing error. So the other sleep that we had was a double money sleep. We had Chelsea versus Arsenal, and we opted for over 8.5 corners, which landed safely because the game had over 11 corners, if I'm not mistaken. And then the next game that we had was Madrid to win, and yeah, Madrid on that day, they just cut a lot of people's sleeps. So we move on to today. So we're moving into today's games. So the first game that we have for today is PSG versus Lille. As I said, PSG coming into the game having lost their derby against Paris FC on Monday. And it's surprising that they couldn't score a goal at their home stadium. Bacola missed so many chances, and yeah, that's what happens in football. If you miss your chances, whenever the team you're playing against has a chance, they'll punish you. So one thing to note in this game is that PSG have a healthy squad. Dembele is back, Desiree Doué are back from injury. They've been back for a while now. So Lille, on the other hand, they are winless in their last 2 games. So, and in their last 8 games, they've won 4, drawn 1, and lost 3, scoring 17 goals and conceding 14. So my picks for this game is PSG to score over 1.5 goals, PSG to win on corners in full time, and minus 1.5 handicap PSG corners. The reason why I'm backing PSG to win on corners in this game is because every time PSG is at home, they play with more possession. They carry the ball more than the traveling team, and if they have more possession, that forces the other team to concede a lot of corners. So I see PSG winning on corners tonight, and the player prop that I have for us today is Kivicka Kvaratskhelia to deliver a shot on target for us, and then Gonzalo Ramos to have 2+ shots on target, and this is dependent on whether he starts or not. Whenever Gonzalo Ramos starts, he has an average of 4 shots in a game. The next game that we have is FC Argus versus FC SB. I won't really go much into this game. These teams are from the Romanian league. FCSB used to be a good team to bet on last season, but then they've had a shaky start to this season, and that explains their position on the table this season. But our picks for this game is gonna be over 1.5 goals. I've checked their head-to-head record, and this is a good it's a good line to follow for today. The next game that we have is Sporting versus Casapia. I won't really dive much into this game, but their head-to-head, Sporting always destroys Casapia. I think earlier this year Sporting beat them 8-0. You can check that up for yourself. But then the picks for this game is Sporting to win. If you want to do a value bet, then do Sporting to score over 2.5 goals, because them to score over 1.5 goals is going to be so little. I don't even think they're going to offer it on most of your bookmakers today. The second last game that we have is Pisa versus Atalanta. Atalanta coming into this game on a 3-game winning streak, recently also beating title contenders Roma away from home. So I think they played at home. I really don't remember. But then their odds to win are sitting at 1600 for 1 and 1.60 if you do decimals for betting. And if you ask me, like I said, yeah, the odds to win are priced well. I know I normally say that whenever you see a team to win and their odds are sitting at 1.4 going up, then that's not a good game to follow. But today I think we can take the risk. I haven't played a bet on Atalanta to win this season. This is gonna be my first time trusting Atalanta with my money. So the picks that we have is over 2.5 bookings for the whole game. The next pick that we have is Atalanta to win either half and under 3.5 goals full time. If you want to do a value bet, I think Atalanta can get over 1.5 bookings in this game. So you should follow that. You should really follow that. The last game that we have is Werder Bremen versus Eintracht Frankfurt. As I can see, Frankfurt averaged 2.06 goals per game, and for every goal they score, they seem to concede more goals than they score. And this has been Frankfurt's problem this season. They can start winning a game comfortably, then they just allow the team that they play against to come back into the game. I remember they played against Borussia Mönchengladbach earlier this season and they were winning 6-0, and then they just allowed the team to rally back and the game ended 6-4. If I'm not mistaken, you can check that out for yourself. But then my picks for this game is Frankfurt to win or draw, Frankfurt to score a goal, and the value bet that I have for us today is both teams to score. I think this game ends 1-1 or 2-1 in Frankfurt's favor. You guys can comment down below your correct score prediction for this game, but this is how I see the game ending. That I have for us today is a 4.18 odds. It's 5 games, and I honestly hope they sleep beats the bookies on Fridays. On Friday. So the first game that we have is PSG versus Lille, and we're going to opt for a PSG home win with 2 up. The next game that we have is Werder Bremen versus Eintracht Frankfurt, and we're going to opt for the away team to score at least a goal. The next game that we have is Pisa versus Atalanta, and we are going to opt for Atalanta to win either half. The second last game that we have is FC Argus versus FCSB, and we are going to opt for over 1.5 goals. The last game that we have is Sporting versus Casapia, and we are going to opt for Sporting to score over 1.5 goals. So this is slip 1. Have is your double your money slip. It's 2.15 odds. The first game that we have is FC Pisa versus Atalanta, and we are going to opt for home or away team to win the game, double chance. The next game that we have is Espanyol versus Girona, and we are going to opt for under 3 2.5 goals. The last game that we have is PSG versus Lille, and we're going to opt for over 7.5 corners. So this is the second sleep of today. Sleep that we have is a W money sleep. The first game that we have is Atalanta versus Pisa, and we're going to opt for Atalanta away win with the 2 up. The next game that we have is Werder Bremen versus Eintracht Frankfurt, and we're going to opt for over 1.5 goals. The last game that we have is PSG versus Lille, and we're going to opt for PSG win or draw. This is my W money sleep, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Don't forget to join the Telegram or join the WhatsApp channel, whichever one you like. Please join, and please have a good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.